You may have eaten fried chicken at these familiar places dozens of times without a second thought. But what if beneath that crispy coating, there's a process riddled with risks, from improperly thawed chicken to blackened frying oil unchanged for days? This video will make you think twice before ordering chicken next time. If you've had an unforgettable experience with chicken at any of the chains below, comment 1. And don't forget to like and subscribe to keep joining us on this journey. 9. Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's has been praised as a model of focus and quality, serving just one thing: crispy fried chicken. This minimalist menu creates a sense of trust and professionalism, leading many to believe that specializing in one dish means doing it exceptionally well. But that very confidence can be a blind spot, allowing serious issues to quietly arise. Because they focus on a single product, Raising Cane's system often skimps on thorough food safety training compared to chains with diverse menus. Internal documents show that training on hygiene and ingredient storage here is 30% shorter than at other brands. New employees handle perishable ingredients without the experience needed to spot warning signs. One overlooked issue is the breeding process. Chicken is often pre-breaded up to 6 hours in advance and stored in coolers, causing the coating to turn slimy. Fluctuating fridge temperatures can unintentionally create conditions for bacteria to thrive. Former employees in Texas and Louisiana reported that, despite sliminess or odd smells, some chicken pieces were still fried to avoid waste. The frying oil story isn't simple either. Since they only fry chicken, managers often assume the oil stays cleaner. In reality, frying one ingredient continuously builds up large amounts of meat and breading debris. When not filtered regularly, this oil becomes a breeding ground for bacteria. In some cases, oil is only changed when it smells burnt or the food's flavor changes noticeably. The pressure to serve quickly during peak hours makes things worse. Some employees shared that they were told to fry chicken still slightly pink inside rather than discard it and start over. With speed as the priority, quality standards sometimes take a back seat. The overly simplified operations at Raising Cane's create significant gaps in quality control. When people believe one dish can't go wrong, risks emerge unnoticed. The real concern? Those mistakes might be in the crispy chicken you're about to bite into. 8. Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel has long captured diners' hearts with its nostalgic, American country vibe, where every table and dish feels like a home-cooked meal. But behind that cozy atmosphere lies an industrial preparation process, where convenience and low costs seem to trump quality and safety. One of Cracker Barrel's signature dishes, fried or dumpling-style chicken, sounds freshly made but often comes from a factory. Chicken is pre-processed, breaded, vacuum-sealed, and frozen before reaching stores. Some pieces show discoloration or odd smells but are still used. Less fresh portions are chopped up and mixed into dumplings with thickeners and artificial flavors to mask flaws in color and taste. The issues don't stop there. Former employees report that frying oil at Cracker Barrel is often used for days, including weekends, without filtering, and is shared across chicken, fish, and vegetables. This leads to mixed flavors, debris buildup, and bacterial growth, impacting both taste and food safety. This old oil has caused some diners to report greasy textures, strange flavors, or even digestive issues after eating. Cracker Barrel maintains its image as a warm, family-style eatery, but the kitchen reality is far less romantic. When nostalgia is recreated with frozen food and home-cooked feelings come from prepackaged recipes, customer trust can easily erode. Familiarity might make us forget to ask, is the food we're eating as safe as it looks? 7. TGI Fridays. TGI Fridays brings a lively, carefree vibe, where you can enjoy tasty food in a cozy setting with friends or family. But behind that inviting facade, a sprawling menu with over 100 items creates serious gaps in food safety control. When a restaurant tries to please everyone with so many options, maintaining consistent hygiene becomes a significant challenge. At many locations, the same prep area is used for raw and cooked ingredients, cleaned only with a quick spray between uses. Cutting boards are color-coded to separate raw and cooked foods, but employees say scratches and stains make the colors indistinguishable over time, defeating their purpose. This leads to dangerous cross-contamination between raw chicken, vegetables, salads, or cooked dishes. The famous boneless wings aren't even wings. They're processed breast meat, molded and seasoned to mimic wings. These pieces contain up to 15% saline and binding additives, giving them an unnatural, chewy texture and losing the fresh chicken flavor. Grilled chicken, too, is pre-cooked at factories, frozen, and kept warm for up to 8 hours daily in holding units. Internal records from over 40 locations show that in 78% of observed cases, chicken temperatures dropped below safe levels without timely detection. Understaffing and the rush to serve quickly lead to employees using the same knives and boards for raw chicken, salads, and appetizers. A chef at a Florida branch shared images of raw chicken trays placed next to unwashed vegetables, separated only by an oil-soaked paper towel. Such carelessness isn't rare. It's practically part of the high-pressure routine during busy shifts. Under TGI Fridays' soft lighting and upbeat music, it's easy to believe you're enjoying a high-quality meal, but many dishes are just frozen, reheated products served on nicely garnished plates. When you order chicken expecting a perfect evening, remember, what makes it look appealing isn't always about the quality inside. In an overloaded restaurant, the first thing sacrificed might be the safety of the food in your hand. 6. Applebees. Applebees always feels like a neighborhood diner, where you can relax, order grilled chicken or honey-glazed chicken, and enjoy a family-style meal. But behind the friendly vibe and cozy atmosphere lies a highly industrialized operation that makes cooked on-site feel like a distant concept. Nearly 90% of the chicken dishes on the menu aren't freshly prepared in the kitchen. Instead, they're pre-processed, frozen products, reheated and artfully plated with a sprig of parsley or a lemon slice to seem just cooked. According to chefs who worked at Applebee's in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Arizona, most chicken arrives frozen in vacuum-sealed bags, like ready-made meals. During peak hours, the same piece of chicken might be reheated 3 or 4 times to keep up with service speed. This repeated heating not only ruins the fresh texture, but also creates conditions for bacteria to grow if temperatures aren't properly controlled. Even the grilled chicken breast, with its pan-seared look and perfect grill marks, isn't always authentic. Sources reveal those marks come from factory heat presses, not kitchen grills. The sauce drizzled on top acts as a perfect mask, hiding the reheated smell and grayish meat. The bigger concern is the lax approach to food safety. At some locations, employees are told to handle raw and cooked foods simultaneously, with only minutes to wipe down prep surfaces. A chef who worked weekends shared that cutting boards used for raw chicken and salads were sometimes just wiped with paper towels before being reused for cold appetizers. 5. KFC. When you think of KFC, you likely imagine the irresistible aroma of fried chicken, a crispy crust, and the legendary 11 herbs and spices. But behind that golden coating are stories that might make some diners hesitate. Despite being a global icon of fried chicken, KFC faces doubts about its behind-the-scenes operations. Per company policy, cooked chicken should be held in warming trays for no more than 2 hours to ensure food safety. Yet, former employees in states like Ohio, Georgia, and California reveal that chicken often sits for over 6 hours without being replaced. During this time, bacteria can multiply rapidly in the danger zone of 40 to 140 degrees, as defined by food safety standards. In one case, a batch of chicken with faint green edges was sprinkled with extra seasoning and served to customers, per a manager's orders. This wasn't an isolated incident. Many locations have been found using old frying oil through entire weekends without changing it, despite internal standards requiring oil replacement every 4 to 6 hours during peak service. Old oil not only affects flavor, but also produces compounds that can cause digestive irritation and long-term health risks. The issues go further. Internal reports have documented falsified temperature logs at multiple locations nationwide. In a Florida case, employees recorded fake temperatures in logbooks for months, with actual readings often 15 to 20 degrees below safe levels. When caught, the excuse was simply to avoid write-ups. Many diners assume a long-standing brand like KFC strictly follows hygiene rules, but reality suggests otherwise. Some locations operate by cutting costs, saving time, and dodging accountability for sanitation. Essential practices, like hand washing, sanitizing prep areas, and separating raw and cooked ingredients, are often skipped during busy shifts. In this context, the fried chicken you love may not feel as safe as it once did. The aroma and crispy crust remain, but beneath them lie serious questions about operations, kitchen ethics, and a focus on profits over consumer health. If a brand this big can make such serious mistakes, it's reasonable to question others too. Perhaps the safest choice is sometimes skipping that combo deal for the peace of mind in every meal. 4. Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A has long been hailed as a breath of fresh air in fast food, with spotless stores, polite staff, and a commitment to quality. But behind that polished image, there are cracks that few notice. The belief that higher prices guarantee higher safety standards, sadly, isn't always true. One lesser-known issue is the pre-marination process at industrial factories. Chicken is marinated, shipped hundreds of miles, and stored for up to 72 hours before cooking at stores. This long gap between preparation and cooking increases the risk of bacterial growth, especially if storage temperatures aren't strictly controlled during transport and holding. Surprisingly, Chick-fil-A's proudly advertised hand-breaded process is a food safety weak point. While handling raw chicken, employees constantly touch breading bins, spice containers, prep surfaces, and even cooking equipment, often without the time or habit to wash their hands properly. Inspections at 17 stores in Georgia and Alabama found that 92% of shifts showed substandard hand hygiene, especially during breading. Operational pressure turns pressure cookers, the key to Chick-fil-A's signature crispy crust, into hidden risks. When equipment malfunctions, some units operate at unstable temperatures, resulting in chicken that's crispy outside but raw inside. In 2023, internal reports noted 47 cases where faulty machines led to undercooked chicken being served, unbeknownst to customers. Beyond equipment and processes, salmonella outbreaks at locations in California, Texas, and Florida, from late 2023 to early 2024, hospitalized over 200 customers. This is clear evidence that even with strict quality systems, risks persist if processes are taken for granted or the brand is overly confident. 3. Popeyes. Popeyes has long been famous for its crunchy coating and spicy Louisiana flavor, drawing millions of customers yearly. But behind that irresistible taste lies a story of speed-driven service with risks that few anticipate. At many locations, especially in high-traffic areas like Texas and Georgia, chronic understaffing forces employees to work under intense pressure, leading to skipped steps in hygiene and food safety protocols. Former employees shared that, during peak hours, raw chicken was sometimes left at room temperature for over 2 hours, violating cold storage rules and paving the way for bacterial growth. More alarmingly, some managers were accused of instructing staff to pick up chicken dropped on the floor, rinse it briefly with water, and fry it for customers. The reason? Making a new batch takes time and increases costs, while sales targets must be met. This isn't just a risky decision, it endangers customers' health for a few minutes saved. The spicy coating that so many love also acts as a veil, hiding less than fresh chicken. Some pieces are fried multiple times daily and kept under heat lamps too long, making the meat dry with an odd smell, masked by the bold seasoning. Internal reports show Popeyes' staff turnover rate exceeds 120% annually. This means many new employees trained for just a few hours handle raw ingredients without proper food safety education. This inexperience heightens the risk of cross-contamination in the kitchen, from knives to cutting boards to fridge handles. 2. Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings has long been a go-to spot for sports fans, offering spicy wings to enjoy during thrilling games. But behind that appealing vibe are hidden issues in food preparation that few customers suspect. At many locations across states like Ohio, Michigan, and Wisconsin, former employees revealed that wings are often soaked in thick sauce vats for hours. This ensures bold flavor, but also masks signs of spoilage or off odors. Some batches were described as slimy with strange smells, yet still sauced and served, undetectable to customers' taste buds. The rapid preparation of large quantities of raw wings, especially during weekends or big games, causes splash contamination in the kitchen. Juices from raw meat can splatter onto prep tables, sauce utensils, or even plates ready to serve. Local health reports noted this issue during over 80% of peak hour inspections at multiple Buffalo Wild Wings locations. Cleaning between batches is often neglected due to relentless service demands. At times, Employees only wipe surfaces with paper towels without proper sanitizing before handling the next batch. This is especially risky when sauces are reused across multiple wing batches, becoming potential breeding grounds for bacteria. Another concern is the ingredient source. The industrial wings used are pumped with water and preservatives to increase weight and shelf life. Some cooked batches have a rubbery, bouncy texture when dropped, a phenomenon captured and shared by employees. 1. Golden Corral. Golden Corral is synonymous with hearty, abundant buffets that feel like a friendly family meal. But if you think choosing your food in an open setting guarantees freshness and safety, you might reconsider after seeing what happens behind the serving line. One of the biggest issues at Golden Corral is how food is displayed and stored. The crispy fried chicken, a crowd favorite, often sits under heat lamps for hours, especially on weekends. Food safety experts recommend a maximum of 2 hours for keeping cooked food in such conditions. Yet, at many Golden Corral locations, some dishes sit for up to 8 hours, dropping to temperatures warm enough to let bacteria thrive undetected by the naked eye. The buffet model, where customers serve themselves, complicates things further. Tongs and serving spoons are often mixed between raw and cooked dishes. It's not uncommon for someone to use the same spoon for raw vegetables and then dip it into a tray of hot chicken, creating risky cross-contamination. A hidden camera survey at 14 locations across the U.S. recorded over 200 instances of improper utensil use in a single day. Notably, the rotisserie chicken, seen as healthier than fried, has been reported as undercooked due to faulty equipment. A former employee in North Carolina shared photos of a thermometer showing the internal temperature of rotisserie chicken at just 85 degrees Celsius after over 4 hours of cooking, far below the 165 degrees Celsius needed to kill bacteria. Worse still, to avoid waste, some locations refresh old fried chicken by re-dipping it in batter, lightly refrying it, and returning it to the buffet looking freshly made. Diners can't tell because the crispy golden coating hides meat that's been cooled, stored overnight, or left out too long. Golden Corral may offer the freedom of choice, but behind that convenience lies a host of hygiene and safety risks not immediately obvious. It's time to think twice, as steaming food doesn't always mean it's fresh. Not every convenience is worth trading for your health. Though tempting and convenient, what happens behind the kitchen doors might make you rethink your order. Food safety isn't just the restaurant's responsibility. It's also the consumer's right to know. If you find this content helpful, please subscribe to our channel and share this video to help others stay more cautious when choosing their daily meals.